What is the kind of good relationship hygiene or good dating hygiene that you think is conducive with finding somebody?
I'm so glad you asked me this, because we actually just produced this thing at Hinge called the Distraction-Free Dating Guide. And it's basically based on this. It's like, what are all the things that are getting in people's way? And one of them is technology. So I've absolutely seen those dates. And it's really people of any age. I don't think it's just Gen Z. I feel like that's unfair when people are like, Gen Z is so addicted to technology. It's like, who's all over Facebook? It's boomers. Who's the couple with their phones out? It's often older people. And so the Distraction-Free Dating Guide is about understanding the research behind this. So there's research from MIT professor Sherry Turkle that talks about the influence of a phone on the depth of the conversation. So if a phone is on the table, even if it's face down, even if it's off, you're much less likely to have a deep conversation. Because the reason is, right now you and I are going deep, your phone is not out. I don't feel like at any moment you're about to be interrupted. But if I felt like at any moment I could share something really deep and then your phone could go off and you could grab it, that makes me not feel safe sharing. So the conversation is more shallow because at any moment you could be pulled away. So the first big tip is to put your phone away, out of sight. The second tip is to know that there's other screens involved. Your watch is a screen. You could also be pulled away by that. I also recommend that people finish up any big work conversations or even life conversations before they go in, so they're not feeling like, oh, I have to get back to that person. Sometimes people pull out their phones to show somebody a meme during the date. Do that later. Let that be your callback where you can get in touch with somebody. And finally, if you have plans for after the date, make sure that they're really solid so that you're not during the date checking, hey, let me just see when my friends want to meet up. And so all of these things seem fairly obvious, right? Good phone hygiene. But people don't understand how much their phones are getting in the way of connection. That if you actually just commit to having a phone-free date, hey, let's both just put our phones away. First person to check their phone buys drinks. It's actually a much better way to create deeper connection.
So on that point of shallow conversation, a lot of dates and a lot of sort of serial daters will engage in a lot of small talk,